amazing deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
Well, good morning, Detroit and listeners around the world. Happy Sunday. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation, and this is Nurse Charms Live. I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power, and information is currency. So we do not do misinformation over here. Everything is based on facts and research. It is my goal to get you this knowledge and make it understandable and reliable so that all of you will continue to have confidence in us healthcare professionals. Oh, and I want to mention that if you're just tuning in as a new listener, I will be here every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. My background is that I'm a registered nurse of 20 years and I work at a local hospital. In addition, I'm a licensed massage therapist of 10 years and a serial entrepreneur. So stay locked in with me over the next 2 hours, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. I also want to mention that this is the People Show. It's all about my callers and listeners. I want to hear what's on your mind. So please call in to 313-778-7600 and chime in on the discussions that we have on this show so we can hear from you. And if you're watching the show on the 910 AM Superstation Facebook page, please drop me a heart emoji and let me know you're here. And share this video. Listen, I put a lot of time into researching the topics for this show, so we need this content to get high up in the Facebook algorithm so everyone can see this content, okay? Yes, I'm begging for shares, likes, and comments, so please support your girl. I see and I read everything that you post, and I gratefully appreciate you all. So again, share this video if you are watching on the 910 AM Facebook page. Also want to reference that we are streaming live on the 910 AM app, and you can download that app in the App Store. We can also be heard on iHeartRadio, the 910 AM website, and TuneIn Radio. So on today's show, I have Dr. Grace, who was kind enough to guest co-host with me this morning. Now, Dr. Grace previously appeared as an in-studio guest last month, and we had such a great show. So she's back again today, and I'm so grateful that she's here with me. But really quick, I want to give a disclaimer that neither myself nor my guests are being endorsed. Therefore, I want everyone to know that we're sharing our own knowledge and experience with hopes it will be educational and add value to everyone listening. But please remember to always consult your personal physician. So good morning, Dr. Grace. How are you?
Thank you. Such an amazing introduction. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So real quick, just tell all the listeners your street cred. And I use that slang term just to be silly, but the reality is that this is a health-based show. So, we're not talking celebrity gossip over here. We're staying in our lanes. And specifically, I invite licensed professionals onto my show. So I just want all the listeners to know about my guest background. So tell them your name, your title, your years of experience, and what you do.
All right. My name is Dr. Grace Patterson. I'm affectionately known as Dr. Grace. People call me Dr. Grace. I did all my educational here in the city of Detroit. I graduated Wayne State University School of Medicine in 1996. I've been working for myself 100% now for over 10 years now. So it's been a journey. I am family medicine, and I do a lot of alternative holistic things in combination in our practice. We are primary care based, but I also have an arm of home care where we go into the homes of the sick, disabled, and shut in, and people have difficulties getting out. And due to our friend or ex-friend, COVID, we went 100% virtual, but we're slowly opening up to 1 day a week. And my passion is pain management. We pride ourselves at our practice. We're weaning people off the opiates because even though we had a pandemic, the epidemic was still raging. And so we really help our patients with a holistic approach of managing their pain while at the same time getting them off the opiates for good. So that's my street cred.
All right. You're legit to talk about what we're going to talk about this morning. But first, I just want to open up our first discussion with a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As we know, the calendar date of January 15th today is the day when Martin Luther King Jr. was actually born. Now, Dr. King was one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement. And as we celebrate Dr. King's legacy, it's important to be reminded that Dr. King worked as an activist for health reform. But unfortunately, his mission to address health injustices still hasn't fully been achieved in this present day because we still see discrimination in healthcare. So I'm going to read this quote from Dr. Martin Luther King that was actually made in March of 1966 during a speech that was directed towards the American Medical Association. So this is what Dr. King said. This is just an excerpt of his speech. He said, "Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and the most inhuman because it often results in physical death." So Dr. Grace, I want to get your reaction to this quote because even hearing these words today, Dr. King cannot be more clear in saying human lives end because of health injustices. So what are some solutions that you have to combat injustices, on the government level, on the healthcare system level, just so that we're still keeping Dr. King's mission alive?
Well, I think I shared this with you on our last show. I had a friend who just recently passed in August of ovarian cancer. Mm-hmm. And she had been mistreated, misdiagnosed, had bad surgery, just the whole myriad of things. Educated Black woman. I was walking her through the whole process, and I was like, look, Ange, that's her name. I said, don't leave the hospital until you figure out what's going on. So she had to put her foot down, like, I'm not leaving until you find out what's wrong with me. They were treating her like she was drug seeking, the whole myriad. And unfortunately, it was in a healthcare system where she was employed.
Oh, wow.
Go figure that. But
Right.
African-American woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so about time they diagnosed her, it was stage 4, even though she went through chemo and everything and radiation and the whole gamut of treatment. And even in the process of her treatment,
Mm-hmm.
she was not treated appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still happening today. So to answer your question, what do we need to do about that?
Yeah, what are some solutions?
You know how they say training and all that. I think it has to do with like Michael Jackson, start with a man in the mirror. It's an individual thing.
Right.
You can put guidelines and everything in place for people to follow and rules and regulations, but if it's in a person's heart, how do you change that?
Yeah.
Do you follow what I'm saying? How do you change somebody's heart in treating another individual based on the color of their skin? That's the question. You can put all the rules and guidelines in place that you want, but if they don't want to follow it, they're not going to follow it.
Right. But say we have a compliant society that, purposes to want to do good. What would be some solutions that we could do?
Well, I think it needs to start at the training level, at the medical school level.
Yeah.
I mean, in med school, maybe even at high school levels, or people that have interest in medicine, that they need to know that we all need to be treated the same. Underneath the skin, we all look the same. When you dissect a cadaver, we all look the same underneath.
Right.
And so we need to be treated accordingly.
Right. What about on a government level? Because, they're the nation's leaders, and they should be the one, role modeling these things. It just kind of saddens my heart to just know that here we are in 2023, there's still discrimination in the healthcare system. That's just so wild. Do we just choke it up? We never gonna get rid of it? Are there some baby steps that we could be taking? What type of, I don't know, type of bills or something can the government work on to...
Well, where's the money at to lobby them? You know what I mean? What organizations is going to take this on and lobby for it? Who's going to be the people that goes to Washington and say, hey, this is going on and we need to change it? We have seen some erroneous things that has happened in regards to unjustifiable death in our law enforcement with a certain demographic population, and then when it happens to another population of people, a bill is passed immediately.
Right.
So it has to start with us saying that, where's the marches anymore? The Black Lives Matter thing happened during the pandemic and all of that, but what reform came from that? It was just ridicule and bickering going back and forth. There was no laws that were put in place outside of that march.
Right.
So what Dr. Martin Luther King did, he rallied together, had marches, but he actually made change by hitting the fiscal system.
Right.
Hitting people's pockets.
Right.
So what do we do now? How do we recreate that? How do we put that back in place in the medical field to hit people's pockets to say, hey, if you're not going to treat us all the same, we're not going to fund this, or we're not going to do this, or we're not going to do that. What does that look like?
Right. Yeah, it's just definitely some things to just continue to, have the conversation, for one, and for two, hold these. I feel like it's a lawmaker issue. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's Congress, and it's on that level. Because they make all the laws for whatever they say. So I don't know that I just really want to kind of speak on it from that perspective. That even in 2023, the legacy, I feel like we all should be still trying to contribute to making that dream come alive. Where racial injustice in the health, specifically in the healthcare system, that should never be occurring anymore.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I do for my patients, I educate them. I'm like, when you go to the doctor outside of me, be it a specialist or something, I give them arsenal of information. You treat the patient, not the test. Just because the test says that, you don't treat the test. I've had people that have thyroid disease, but their blood levels come back normal. But they still have the losing of the hair, losing of the eyebrows, depressed, the gut issues, and all of that. But they're saying, oh, it's not your thyroid. If it looks like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck, regardless. So I think educating our patients as well to help them. But as you said, at the level of writing the laws, for me, for one, I'm not trying to be funny. Who would I go talk to? As a doctor, if I'm not happy with how my patients are being treated or things like that.
Well, you would go to leadership, of course, hospital leadership. Well, if you're in the hospital, you're looking like, what are they really going to do? Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. So how do we make change within the hospitals? You know, hospitals are having their own issues post-COVID. Short staff is just crazy. It's like now being so snowball effect and being more magnified because we don't have the people in place to do the quality care, the quality work that we need. But again, what I meant was, who do I talk to at the legislative level to write the laws? Do I write my congressperson? Do I get on the phone? Do I send an email?
Right.
How do we get the ball rolling?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be going to the congressperson, you know, like, well, Debbie Stabenow's retiring, so we still have our other senator, what's his name? Let's see. Let's go to our caller. We have a caller on the line. Jerry, are you there? Senator Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yes, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Y'all have a very interesting topic this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Yeah, you know, it's MLK, his birthday, but oh, Jerry, looks like we got to take a break. So hang on there with us. We're going to get your thoughts on the other side of the break. Listen, in Detroit, you're listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 AM Superstation. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
And we are back. This is is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I have my guest co-host, Dr. Grace, in the studio with me today, and we are celebrating. We're doing a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King on this first hour of the show, and we left off talking about Dr. King's vision for us to have health, for us not to have injustices in the health system. So we were just talking about some solutions for that. We have a caller on the line. Jerry, are you still with us? Yeah. Jerry, are you there?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Okay, I was listening to what the topic was and what y'all was saying on the air about Dr. Martin Luther King and about the marches and MLK and George Floyd, this, that, and the other. And my situation is this: Dr. Grace, when she was speaking about this yesterday, was a fine opportunity to come to 13th Congressional swearing in for Street Pandadar. I didn't see a lot of people there, but I hear a lot of people complaining. I'm there. I feel like if I have an issue with a politician, I'm not writing a letter. I'm going to be at their office. I'm going to have a meeting with them. I'm going to call them up and have a meeting with them. And people are scared. They work for us. As a matter of fact, Dr. Grace, do you believe in police accountability?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have a petition that I would like for you to sign about police reforming the police departments in America. It's an immediate act for change. And Nurse Sharp, I'm going to be calling you about signing this petition. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, yeah. Tell me more about it after the show. But I do agree with you about going to our lawmakers. Definitely, pulling up. Like, what's up?
Nurse Sharp know me personally. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to be at your event. If I have to come to your house, if I have to tell you these are the policies that we want, and if you don't agree with these policies and help us with these policies, we're going to boot you from office. And I tell it to their face. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Nurse Sharp has seen me do it in person, on the air, and everywhere else. I'm not going to sit around and say, I should have told them that. No, that's not going to be me.
Yeah. So
now, Dr. Grace, also, I definitely would like to invite you where these lawmakers are at, and I can introduce you to them. And then you can, tell them about your concerns, and we can get some change around here. I'm pretty sure you have a powerful voice out here in the community.
That'll be great. I would love that. And as you were speaking, I was like, okay, so where is your rallying? Where is your troops? Where is your marches? You sound like you gung-ho for it all. So I would definitely be down for the cause. Absolutely. But there is also power in numbers.
Absolutely. Strength in numbers, like the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. Jerry, he's definitely that action type of person. So, yeah, you would be real good for that. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I wanted to say I knew that in life I had to do something like this because Martin Luther King's birthday is today. My birthday is tomorrow. So that automatically just made me have a kinship with Dr. King, being our birthdays are back to back.
Yeah, same birthday month. Yeah.
Yeah, next day.
Right. Right.
That was that for me.
Happy early birthday to you.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
You are absolutely welcome.
Okay, well, thanks for having me on the air, expressing my concerns.
Yes, for sure, Jerry. And I will touch base with you and follow up, and you give me some more information about what you're doing, your event you got going on, okay?
Send me Dr. Grace information as well.
All right, Jerry, you take care. Thanks for calling. Yeah, so let's just jump right into our next discussion. So I want to talk about what it means to have good health and why that's important. So to begin, personally, I just feel like everything we do relies on having good health. I mean, when you think about our major body organs, such as our brain, our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, these are all essential to our body functioning essentially. So Dr. Grace, I want you to tell everyone, or just kind of break down what having good health is, how it's measured, how do we maintain good health? Let's just get into all of that.
Well, I would like to say that, like you said, good health is the root of everything. I mean, if you have a job, you want to be in good health to work the job. It's nothing like working a job and you're not feeling good.
Right.
Or, or not able to go in. Right.
Right.
Or so whatever you do, you need to have good health to do it.
Really, it's like the foundation. Yeah. Foundation of life,
Absolutely. Like Steve Jobs says, all the money in the world that he had, it could not save him from his demise in regards to the disease that took him out of here.
Right.
So it is very, very, your health is your wealth, basically. And to answer the other part of your question, what do you do to maintain it? It starts at home. It doesn't really start at the doctor's office.
Right.
It starts at home. What are you eating? What are you buying? A lot of my patients that have health weight challenges are not weight well because of what they have in their homes. They know if you eat good, you feel good. You eat bad, you feel bad. And whatever you eat is either adding life to you or taking life away. There's no in between. And so we talk about that. Hydration, a lot of, do you drink water? You'll be amazed at how many patients tell me they don't like drinking water. I don't like the taste.
Right.
I'm like, okay, when the last time I don't drink water every day? I mean, to me, that's so far-fetched for me because I do.
Yeah.
It may not be the amount that I'm supposed to drink, but I do try to drink water every day. Your body, depending on the literature that you read, is anywhere from 75 to 92% water.
Right.
So why wouldn't you like water? I mean, so hydration is very, very key because if you're dehydrated, you can't think clearly. Some people have headaches. Some people have stomach aches. They just don't feel well. Hydration is very important for flushing your kidneys, making sure that you have regular bowel movements. Water helps with the flexibility in joints.
Right.
And I know that personally.
Right.
Because I do stretching. I actually go somewhere where they stretch me. When I'm not have enough water on board, it is tumultuous.
Yeah.
When I'm hydrated, it's the best thing ever. It's not as bad. But anyway, so just simple things, eating right, making sure you're hydrated, and making sure you're getting enough sleep and fresh air. I know it's kind of hard in Michigan because it's so cold all the time. But I do recommend my patients sometimes, if you're in the house more than 2 to 3 days, just go stand on the porch.
Yeah.
Get some air in your lungs. So just small, simple things like that really helps with that. And the better you feel, your mood is better. So it all goes together. Your body, what I call a symphony.
Yeah.
It all goes together. If somebody is all off key.
Right. So how is good health measured? Because some people just think like, oh, I'm skinny, so I'm healthy. I mean, like what is the, medical definition, of good health? Just, break it down on layman's term.
Did you know there's a such thing called skinny fat?
Skinny fat? No, what is skinny fat?
Okay, let me tell you, because you said some people say that they're skinny. There is good fat and bad fat. There's visceral fat and what we call adipose tissue. There's different types. And skinny fat, for those of you who have meat or clean meat, that thick fat that's like on ribs or that yellow fat that's in a chicken, that's bad fat.
Right.
A person can be skinny but have that type of fat, which is bad fat, visceral fat, which is unhealthy fat. So just because you're skinny, we call it skinny fat. It's
skinny
unhealthy.
Fat. Oh.
Yeah. So
is that a new term?
No, it's been out for a minute. And when I've talked about it on one of my Medical Monday shows years ago.
Oh, okay.
But it's a such thing as that, and that's measured now. There are so many things out there now that measures visceral fat versus bad fat. There's equipment that they have now that's available. some people use DEXA scans. There's scanning machines now that they call body composition, those type of things. When people go for CT scans, MRIs, and stuff like that, some radiologists could be able to see that,
right?
Because that can measure that as well. As you know, blood pressure guidelines have changed. For years, it was 120 over 80. No, it was 140 over 90. Then it went to 120 over 80. Now JCN-H7 has changed it back again to 140 over 90. So blood pressure readings, as far as blood pressure is concerned.
Wait, break down what that means. 140 over 90 is the lowest or highest? What are you saying?
That's the highest, the cutoff. They wanted that and below.
Why did they go back up? Because I thought lower would have been better. 130.
I have no idea.
Because they were saying that was pre-hypertension.
I don't know why they went back, because that's why doctors are forever learning, and nurses too.
Right.
It's called continuing medical education. They're always changing something.
Right.
And so when I found that out, I still keep my patients at target 120. I tell them to target 120 because during that time of that incidence of cerebrovascular disease or strokes went down, heart attacks went down. So I have no idea why they went back up.
Right.
So, but anyway, measuring blood pressure is a good way to monitor it. Going to your doctor, there is age-related testing that they want to do from newborn all the way up to the elderly that people need to have done on a regular basis. When you come to the doctor's office, when you do your vitals, when you first come in, we do your blood pressure, we check your temperature, your heart rate, those type of things. That gives us the base foundation of what we need to look at before we go into the reason why you're there for the visit.
Okay, we're going to continue this discussion on the other side of the break. We're going to take a quick break. This is Nurse Charms Live. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, and we'll be right back.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special, 100 spots for $600. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Mike Z for more information at 248-357-4566, 248-357-4566, or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. 910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network. 910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
And we are back. This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I have Dr. Grace Patterson in studio with me this morning, and we were just having a conversation about what is having good health and how is that measured. Sometimes people just think, because they're a certain size, just say they're on the small frame size. So it's like, oh, I'm healthy. I don't have to do anything else, but that is not true. Health is measured. I mean, there's so many layers to this. If you think about health on the cellular level, what is your blood count, your red count in your blood cells, your white count, all those things, they determine your immune level. There's lab blood work that I can't get my words out. That determines your, and feel free to jump in anytime, co-host. You was on the roll. I ain't want to stop you. Especially when I'm getting trapped up with my words. But anyways, determine our blood clotting levels. Yes. Nutritional values, what calcium we have, magnesium, all those different things work for our heart. All those things need to be within normal value. And if not, then, you need to, like you were saying, you need to be seeing your doctor. So don't just think that, oh, I'm good. I'm never going to the doctor because, I'm skinny. I'm fine. It's so many levels to this.
Yeah. And then also listen to your body. If a person is tired all the time, you shouldn't be tired all the time. There's something wrong with that. Right. You need to go find out what that is and what's going on, or being hyper or anxious all the time. Right. That's not normal. Or you have this nagging pain somewhere, and it's like, oh, it'll go away, and it's 3 months later, and it's still there. Those type of things. Listen to your body. Pain is an indication that something is off.
Right.
So pay attention to your body. You have to listen to your body, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in our practice. I listen to my patients.
Yeah.
I just don't. We don't run assembly line either. We really take time out to listen to our patients, work with our patients, and as you were saying with the lab work, even with reference ranges and stuff like that. What may be normal, we got to understand that the reference range is a statistical analysis of a group of people that they said these were normals for that group.
Right.
But there are some people who can be outside of that normal range, and it could be normal for them, or within that normal range and still have problems.
Right.
And so as a clinician, we have to, the lab values is a tool to help us assess. With your training, you're taught that 95% of your diagnosis happens with history, taking a good history.
Right.
And then you develop what we call a differential diagnosis. You okay, it could be this, it could be that. You make a list.
Right.
And then you do your physical exam, and then based upon your physical exam, then you check off, oh, well, that doesn't fit because of that. Then the lab work is last.
Right.
To help you further check off that list.
Right.
And so that is part of the measuring process that we do. And then the medications or the supplements that we give is supposed to help give the body what it needs to heal itself.
Right.
But pharmaceuticals, most oftentimes, as doctors, you have this symptom, here's a script.
Right.
But not really going into depth the reason why the person is having the problem. So, example, someone that may be having gastroesophageal reflux or GERD. Why do they have GERD?
Right.
So you just give them a script for that, right? But why are they having it?
Right.
Do they have stress? What are they eating? You need to tell them what not to eat. Are they having it worse when they lay down? Okay, so are they eating and then laying down?
Right.
Are you telling them, okay, after a meal you shouldn't go right to sleep? Or if it's really that bad that you need to elevate the head of your bed, well, Dr. Grace, I don't have an electric bed. You can go outside and get you a couple of bricks.
Right. Right. No.
I'm serious. I have told patients this, and they're like, "Oh my God, I sleep so much better. It's so much better now because you have to sleep with your head elevated because that acid will come up." So I'm just using that as an example of diving into the root cause of what's going on with a person than just giving them script after script just to treat symptoms. I have patients that come to me on 11 to 12 different medications.
Right.
Because they're going to all these different doctors. They're not communicating with one another. And I have yet to meet anyone who told me that they feel good on 11 medications. Never. Out of all of my 25 plus years of practicing, no one has ever said to me, "Oh, I feel wonderful on all these meds."
And not only that, I mean, what is really the compliancy level? Because, I mean, people, they can't remember to take, 2-3 medications. Now you're talking about 11 medications and then just spacing them to different times of the day, It's just a lot. So we want to really minimize having to, get to that level of where you're just popping pills for every diagnosis. And, if we really, I just love how God designed our bodies because he literally designed our bodies to heal themselves. If we just listen to our bodies, we can just have things all figured out. Sometimes, if you have a headache, drink some water, lay down, get some rest, but then if it doesn't resolve, you need to be calling your physician. You have to pay. I just feel like, all these different things that go on with us, it's like our body's check engine light, and when that light goes on, you try to resolve it. It's always nice to do it, the natural way without taking the pills. But then, so I kind of, teach patients okay, step one, decrease your stimuli, what I'm saying? Heat and pad, if you could do any of those things, eat some water, drink some water if you're feeling dehydrated, eat something, sugary, blood sugar issues, all those different type of things. And then if it doesn't resolve after that, then simple call to your physician,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or if it comes down to urgent care, then, go there, but just don't ignore it, because it's when you ignore those things, that's when you make it more complicated to treat in the long run, especially if you're ignoring something for months and months and months. And then it's by the time you come to the doctor, it's oh, you got this mass, or
you need a miracle.
Right. Or it's oh, all these things are going on with your heart. So, and then, it's people start getting worried and nervous and stuff. And I mean, and when we talk about some of these topics on our show, it's not to shame or anybody. I just kind of want to put this out there. It's never to shame anybody, and it's never to put fear in anybody. It's really just to educate, just to make sure you all have all of the information so that you can make the right health decisions for yourself. That's really what it's about. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here saying that I have the perfect health. I'm working on things myself every day. But, if I can just share what I know, with the world, then, hopefully we can just make this world a more healthier place.
Can I tell you this while you were talking? This is what I saw. I saw a couple of my patients that had headaches, migraine headaches, to the point where they were sick and vomiting. And so I got to talking to them, and I was like, "Do you drink coffee?" They were like, "Yeah, about 2 to 3 every day." I said, "Do you drink it on the weekend?" They're like, "No." So they were having violent migraines from caffeine withdrawal over the weekend.
Yeah.
And so, but they had gone to a neurologist. They had gone to different doctors. They're all in these different type of medications for migraines.
Yeah.
And they were still having them.
Yeah.
And so, again, history taking.
Right.
So when you find that out, then you're like, okay, either you got to back off of the coffee or drink it the whole weekend so you won't have headache. And they were like, you know how many doctors I've been to, and no one has ever told me that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very, very important that you take a good history and listen to your body. So again, to what you were saying about not shaming people, I totally agree with that. We're just sharing information so you can make good, educated choices. One of the things that we see at our practice too, the best patient is an educated patient.
Right, absolutely.
Because the more they're educated, because they spend more time with themselves than they spend with me. And so if I can arm you with the information that you need to live a healthier life, that's what I do. So small part of my my career or being a doctor is being a doctor. I would say about 5 to 10%. But 95 to 90% is education.
Yes,
I educate them, and I say it over and over and over again. So if my pain management patients, they know if they say, well, I was in a little bit more pain outside of the weather, they know the next thing I'm going to ask is what you eat. What did you eat?
Yeah, for sure.
And they're like, you right, Dr. Grace, you right. I did have some fried this, or I did have some sugar that, you know, and then they were like, then I'm like, well, you know, well, that's what it is. And so they're making the associations now. Again, if you eat good, you feel good. You eat bad, you feel bad. There's no in between.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the eating and stuff shortly.
Right.
But since I have you on my show, you're a doctor, I wanted to bring this up. This wasn't part of anything. It just came right now because headaches. I know a lot of people have headaches, and people tend to just choke it off as just something normal. Like, let's just talk for a second, because first off, having headaches is never normal. It's never normal to just be like, oh, you know, I have headaches all the time, and I went to the doctor and they said it was fine. No, that's not how it. So let's just talk about headaches for a second, because that's something that's very common. Tons of people get headaches. Some people will drink some caffeine for it and it'll help them, or some people just take a Tylenol. But that's really just putting a Band-Aid on it, and then. Oh, okay, looks like we got to take a break. So when we come back on the other side of the break.
Cliffhanger, they'll be back because we got a whole bunch to say about that. I do.
Yes, we're going to continue talking about health and what we should know. So you're listening to 910 AM Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
And we are back. This is 9:10 a.m. Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I have Dr. Grace Patterson in studio with me, and we are having a great discussion about health. Before the break, we were just talking about headaches, but looks like we got a caller on the line. I'm going to get to Rochelle, then we'll get back into our discussion. Rochelle, are you there?
Yes, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
Yes. What's on your mind this morning, Rochelle?
Let's see. I'm a 50-year-old, African-American woman, a little overweight. I'm starting that menopause stage.
Oh, okay.
And as Dr. Grace would say, that blessed stage.
Right.
I'm starting that stage, and I'm noticing the body is changing, my fatigue level. So a lot of changes with the body. So I want to know, what would you recommend?
First of all, you're probably definitely going to notice that you can't eat things that you've used to eat before. Are you having hot flashes or anything right now, too?
I am, yes.
Okay, most time hot flashes are triggered by sugar.
Okay.
And so your hormones your estrogen is lowering now, along with progesterone. I highly recommend that you get with your OBGYN or come to us so we can see what your levels are and try to manage it that way. If you give the body what it needs, it definitely can auto-correct itself. So a hormone replacement therapy at this age probably would be good for you. To help you with that. But you can start with the simple things, making sure you're getting in enough sleep and making sure you change your eating habits. Estrogen is everywhere. You got to be careful with that as well. It's in the foods that we eat. It's in plastic bottles. It's in canned goods. It's all over the place. So it's probably best if you make an appointment with your doctor or OBGYN to find out where you are so they can help you walk you through this process. What I have been hearing with some people that they're not satisfied because they're just saying, "Oh, that's normal. You just have to just muddle your way through it." But no, we should be giving you some tools to make this transition of your life, a lot easier. And you can live a balanced hormonal life, perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal. I'm living proof of that.
And just one more question.
Sure.
So when my cycle usually would come on, I would get like headaches or a pressure like in the back of my neck. But being that the cycle is no longer coming regularly, I'm still like getting that pressure, say, in the back of the neck. Is that also one of the symptoms of like entering the blessed menopause stage? Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes women still feel the same symptoms that they do when they did have their cycle without the bleeding. Mm. So, because it's still a cycle, your hormones will still cycle for the rest of your life. Mm. So, but you just want to make sure that they're balanced.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you for calling in. That was a great call.
Have a great Sunday, Rochelle.
Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you. Amen. And if anybody else wants to call in, the number in the studio is 313-778-7600. please give us a call and join our discussion. We're going to get back into talking about headaches again. That number is 313-778-7600. And if you're watching on the Facebook page, please share this video. So headaches. So it's never normal. Okay, so first off, that is just like rule number one. And for rule number two, like what should people be doing about
Okay,
headaches?
well, first of all, headaches can be, like we talked about, dehydration. Make sure you're getting your water. And people like, what is the right amount of water? I tell people to take your body weight and divide it by 2.2. And whatever that number is, that's in ounces.
Right.
And if you want to track it, if you drinking water bottles, that's 16.9, then you divide that number by 16.9, and that's how many bottles.
Okay.
Or whatever size container you use, divide that number, and that's how many containers that you need to be drinking for adequate hydration. Number two, when was the last time you had an eye exam?
That's another thing.
I mean, because a person could be squinting all day, and at the end of the day, those muscles are fatigued, and it causes tension headache.
Right.
Again, caffeine. Did you drink caffeine every day? Did you meet that quota of caffeine for that day? If you're a little below, you're going to have a withdrawal headache. Those are and what triggers. What's the stress levels in your life? What foods have you been eating? I've had people, again, that have come to me that had chronic headaches, and I asked them when they go to a neurologist, old school stuff that we learned in medical school, have you kept a headache journal?
Headache diary, for sure. Headache journal, yes.
So what were you doing? What did you eat? What triggered you? Was it that phone call from Pookie and them? I mean, what was it that caused you to have that trigger? Also technology, the blue lights. We've talked about that briefly on the last show. How long are you in front of a screen?
Right.
Do you have blue blocker glasses? Do you have the right glasses? All of those play a role in to headaches. You now being that these are radiation, and you putting them to your ears. I remember years ago, cell phones first came out. They used to have part of corporate exams were CT scans of the head.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend people to and providers that are out there that could possibly be listening, don't just poof them off. Go send them to get a CT scan or MRI, because of cell phones always here. This is radiation.
That's why I'm looking at you with my mouth dropped, because I thought they fixed them.
I don't care.
You're like, I don't care.
It's lithium.
Right, the battery. Yeah,
we're not used to having lithium to our face or to our heads, right?
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't, no.
But how is the battery going, say, into our cells?
Waves. I mean, we have waves going on all the way. Like we're talking here on the radio, and it's going woo.
So you're saying the electricity from that lithium battery in the cell phone can somehow penetrate into our.
How does X-rays work? Nurse terms, waves.
Right. Yeah.
MRIs, waves. CT scans, waves. I mean, when people give them, they have to stand behind shields.
Right. I know, but that's a different type of electricity than I mean, I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm just saying that.
But think about it. Would they tell us that it's not good for us?
Right. Just let us
fry our brains.
Right.
They're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell us. And so I highly recommend people to, like you said, don't poo-poo off headaches, chronic headaches all the time. You shouldn't do that.
Right. So piggybacking onto what it means to have good health, I want to get into this recent study that was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. And, when you're reading these research studies, sometimes they can be so high level with all these medical terms. So we got to take a break. Okay, so we are approaching our second hour of the show. This is Nurse Charms Live. I'm in studio with Dr. Grace. We will be right back.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special, 100 spots for $600. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Mike Z for more information at 248-357-4566, 248-357-4566, or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
And we are back. This is 910 AM Superstation. Happy Sunday. This is Nurse Charms Live. We have just reached our second hour of the show. And looks like we have a caller on the line. Oh, I have Dr. Grace in studio with me. So let's get to our caller. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi. Good morning. Welcome to Nurse Charms Live. What's on your mind?
I'm going to ask a question about the thyroid.
Sure. Ask your question.
Okay. My question is, I had the thyroid removed March of 2022, and after surgery, I was on 100 milligrams of the Livoxin for 3 months. Then they took it to 75. I was on that for about 4 weeks, and now I am on 50. They're still trying to, I guess, regulate my
titrate your dose
level.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm fatigued, and I notice brain fog. At first, I was gaining weight. I gained about 8 pounds. Now I'm losing weight. it's really like my normal weight now. I'm 5'6", and I weigh 148 pounds.
Is it hypothyroid or hyper? Low or high?
They removed it.
So you said they removed it. Okay, sorry.
Yes, they removed thyroid, and I was told to take 2 Tums a day. So I just wonder, like, is there any other, what else could I do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was listening to what you were saying. It sounds like, of course, for those listeners out there, her thyroid is removed, so they're using the medication to act like her thyroid. So they're trying to find the right dosage to get her metabolism to work as if she did have a thyroid. But when your thyroid is off, the diagnosis of hypothyroidism, it sounds like she's just having this, they don't have it to the level now where what a normal thyroid would be functioning at. So it sounds like hypothyroidism, which being tired and sluggish,
Right.
depression, gaining weight, and not having good bowel movements, constipation. So it sounds like to me, along with them, while they're trying to titrate your doses, it sounds like you're on Tums. Your gut is not healthy. So you probably definitely need to have a detox. And after you detox, to supplement with some type of probiotics to replace what, the stools and the good and bad bacteria that is going to be excreted out to help with that. Because the brain fog, your brain and your gut are made from the same cells. So when you were being formed in your mother's belly, a dermatome separated to make the brain and to make the gut, and they communicate to one another. And so if your gut is not healthy, when it communicates to the brain, it's not healthy. So if your gut is clogged up, your brain is clogged up. So I would highly recommend that you seek out good gut health. We can help you with that as well. But I also would like for you, in regards to your thyroid, is that a primary care doctor that's trying to titrate you, or is it an endocrinologist, a specialist?
Primary care doctor.
I would highly recommend that you have a conversation with your primary care doctor to see if you can get in to see an endocrinologist who specializes in that to help. I mean, some things are beyond our realm of expertise, or we feel comfortable in that, but there's nothing wrong with asking for a little bit more help, because that's what an endocrinologist does. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you for calling. Have a great Sunday. Yeah, so just back into our discussion, we were talking about that study that I read, and let me just get back into this. So it was I found this study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. So I was just saying before the break that sometimes reading these research studies, this can just be so high level with all these terms and everything, medical terms, that people are just like, what is this? So basically, just to kind of conclude it, what it pointed out is that this study, it demonstrated that healthy eating patterns, according to the recommendations of the dietary guidelines for Americans, healthy eating patterns, it led to a lower risk of mortality from certain chronic diseases. So essentially, we all need to have the mindset that we are eating to live. So we need to be consuming foods with healthy calories. Otherwise, we're just putting a bunch of junk into our bodies, which adversely is eating to die. So when you think about eating, is you're going to eat to live or you're going to eat to die. It's literally as simple as that. And again, like, I don't mean to put like any fear, but some people might be like, well, hey, I eat all of these foods and I'm fine. Okay, so that's just you. You know what I'm saying? That is not the norm, because nobody should be eating pizzas and burgers, and you may be fine, but guess what? We are not invincible, okay? All those pizzas and burgers will catch up to you. You may be 25, you may even be 40, and you may still be, quote unquote, fine. What we were talking about earlier, like, what the idea of health is. And, some of this stuff, it may just seem elementary, but obviously it's not, because, we still have people walking around here and, like, I can speak from experience. Dr. Grace can speak from experience because she's dealing with patients. I'm dealing with patients. So we see these things. So it may sound elementary, but guess what? For the average patient, they're not following the guidelines. So, we got to continue to put this education out there no matter how elementary or whatever it may sound. But yes, eating to live and eating to die, like it's real out here. So let's just basically, I want to just talk about, basic nutrients and some of these things you had covered a little bit, but just to kind of, paint this whole picture, because like the whole reason, we're doing this show is, in remembrance of Dr. Martin Luther King and, just fighting for health, injustices and stuff. So, we want to keep that dream alive. So we want to make sure, all that fighting wasn't in vain. So health, you know what I'm saying? We have a social responsibility. Physicians, nurses, continue to put this health education out there and continue to, help treat every patient that we can. So, we can live long and be healthy. So let's just talk about the basic nutrients, water, carbs, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, and what they do for the body, because, we want people to keep in mind these healthy eating patterns. So,
right. Well, we already talked about the water,
what it does for us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk about carbs.
Yes.
Okay. There's so many fad diets out there, low carb and this carb and that carb. Our carbs are not created equal.
Right.
And there are good carbs and there are bad carbs.
Right.
So the refined carbs are sugars.
Right.
So that's like your white sugar, table sugar, your breads, your pastas, all of those are, and potatoes, and white rice, all of those, when we eat it, is processed into sugar, which is considered refined carbs, which are not good carbs. Then there's good carbs, which are complex carbohydrates, which our body needs and can utilize much better for our overall health. And a lot of people don't know the difference between the two. So no carb, low carb diet, but what does that look like?
Right. Let's talk about it.
What does that look like? That is trending, the keto and all that other kind of stuff.
Forever. That
is not, I mean, you and I both know in the medical profession, somebody come in ketoacidosis, we hooking them up to what? To IVs,
right.
The glucose,
right. Carb drip, all
that stuff.
Yeah.
They're in the ICU,
right.
And stuff like that. And so keto is not sustainable for life,
right?
So we have to learn how to eat. I mean, we have made eating normal so abnormal that people think is hard,
right?
But then also when you were talking earlier, I was thinking about people that have, socio-economical as far as money is concerned. They're like, I don't have the money, it's too expensive.
Right, and they gonna go to Arby's and get a 5 for $5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, that was back in the day. You can't do it now. Inflation.
Ramen noodles.
Right. Oh, ramen noodles. Yeah, all that stuff.
All that stuff. But the thing is, people spend money on what they want to spend money on. And we're not asking people to spend money that they don't have, but redirect their dollars that they do have to more healthier choices.
Right.
And you can do that. I mean, so protein, I'm a high avid component of lean cuts of meat. If you're going to do red meat, I'm really not a red meat eater myself personally, because of what they do to our cattle, unless you eat organic or grass-fed. But then there's a trick even with grass-fed. If they feed a cow or cattle or whatever once a week grass, they can label it grass-fed once a week.
Right.
They're not lying, but they're not telling you about
on a technicality.
On a technicality. They're not telling you about the antibiotic, steroids, and hormones that they are injecting into the meat, which, by the way, the FDA guideline says it's okay to inject them with that, but they don't say anything about its safety after human consumption.
Right.
And so I'm more so I was a vegetarian for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had my own physical with a good friend of mine. And she was like, Grace, being that you're going through the change in menopause, I think you need to be doing meat on the weekend. So I've incorporated that. So I do more so like turkey, chicken.
Right.
I like lamb chops.
Yeah.
But I don't do them all the time. But I don't do steak. I don't do ribs.
Right.
And I don't do any type of pork at all. So that's important. Your protein intake is very, very important because you need protein, especially if you're working out, to rebuild the muscle mass that you have broken down.
Right.
You just need protein for overall good health anyway. Fats, I remember no fat diet or zero fat. Then they found out that wasn't good, that we needed good fats. There's bad fats and there's good fats. And how I tell people to remember the difference between good and bad. Remember back in the day when grandma or mama used to fry that chicken and pour the grease and then it solidifies in that Crisco can.
Right.
Do they still make Crisco?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. I don't walk down the aisle. I don't buy that anymore. Solid fats are not good fats because think about it. If it's hot and it's a liquid and it solidifies as a solid in a can, what is it doing in your blood vessels to solidify?
Right.
Right. Yep. So good fats are things that stay in a liquid form at room temperature. Good fats, be it extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, all those plant-based oils, which we call monosaturated fats, are good.
Because when I first became a nurse, now it's been 20 years, but I was just like gung-ho trying to just do everything perfect or whatever. And like as you sit here talking about having, we still have to have the good fats. True story for me, like my cholesterol, like I wasn't even getting enough of the good cholesterol. Like my cholesterol was like too low almost. So it was like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Like here I am trying to do everything too perfect and y'all telling me that, I don't have enough. Like I thought cholesterol was bad. I was trying to stay away from it. No, you still need a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I know about that so well. Let's see. We have a caller, Reginald, on the line. Let's get to him. Reginald, are you there?
Oh, hi. Hey, this is Hill.
Oh, hey, good morning. Thanks for calling Nurse Charms Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, nurse and doctor. Doctor, will you please put out your contact information, and have you written a book yet? And also, Malcolm X said not to eat pork. I wanted to get your opinion on that, too.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Grace Patterson, managing owner of Bethesda Holistic Center and Everything New Medical Care Services. I'm in Southfield. You can text our office, which is HIPAA compliant. It's 248-356-1111. That's 248-356-1111. And our website is www.drgracecares.com. That's www.drgracecares.com. About the book, yes, I am about to write my book. It's going to be called Eat Good, Feel Good, Eat Bad, Feel Bad.
Oh, I love that.
And so when we come back from the break, we'll talk about pork.
Hill, can you stay on hold and join us on the other side of the break? Okay, awesome. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
And we are back. This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I'm here live in studio with Dr. Grace, and we actually have a caller still on hold. Hill, are you there?
Oh, yes. Oh, doctor and Nurse Charm, also, do any diet pills really work to help curb your appetite? They advertise all these diet pills on TV. What's your opinion on that, please?
I'll let the doctor give her opinion, but I am going to say it depends. It depends on which one, but in general, for the most part, I mean, scientifically, if we want to get into the science, to lose weight, you have to exercise and you have to watch what you eat. You have to do, portion control, so you can't really just pop a pill and just boom, you lost 10 pounds. Unfortunately, it really doesn't work like that. So when some of these products make those claims, I just tend not to believe it. But that's just me, because none of them have worked for me. That's just me. What does the doctor have to say?
Okay, so let's rewind. Let's go back to the pork. And then we'll do the appetite suppressant, and then it's like, what did you say, Hill? I'm sorry.
Oh, the pork. Don't forget about that. And do diet pills, because they always say it's not FDA approved.
Right. Okay.
And like they advertise, our pill will work. There's several advertisements for diet pills, but is it not really just not true?
Okay, well, first of all, anything that is a supplement, we can't say that it diagnose, prevents, cure, or treat because of the FDA regulations. My thing is, if you take it and it works, fine. If you take it and it's not working, it doesn't work for you. Everybody's body is created and designed differently. And when people have problems or issues with their appetite, again, I'm going back to the gut. Again, there is bad bacteria that actually sends biochemicals to the brain to eat because it needs unhealthy foods to thrive. So that's the sugars, the refined sugars and everything that we talked about. So I would recommend, if your appetite is not where it needs to be, you probably need to address getting your gut healthy so you won't have those cravings. There's also different minerals that can be associated with cravings as well. And then they tell you to eat certain foods that have those minerals in it, or just a supplement so you won't have those cravings. So again, I'm an avid component. When people say that they take this, it works for them, by all means, even if it's a placebo effect, if it's working for you and it's not causing any adverse reactions or causing any potential health issues later on down the line, by all means do so.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then in regards to the pork, scripturally speaking, from Malcolm X's perspective in the Bible, it talks about not eating any animal that has a split hoof or doesn't have any sweat glands, which the pig apparently does not. Me personally, as a child growing up, we ate pork. I mean, we did. And my uncle, Lord rest his soul, we used to slaughter a pig every fall. And when and the pig ate the slop. What is the slop? The slop is whatever the family ate. And my family, they were not all that healthy. So they ate the fat backs and the everything else, and they had high blood pressure. They had diabetes. So my question is, the food that they didn't eat or the leftovers, they were giving it to the pig, and then we were eating the pig.
Right.
And then to cure a pig, you cut it up in sections and you put it in the not the smokehouse, the salt house. They cure it in salt.
Yeah.
So that salt is being absorbed in the meat. So, what do we tell people when they diagnose with high blood pressure? To avoid salt.
Right.
The first thing, salt, pot, and pork.
Right.
Because the pork is cured in salt, so a person will be eating that. So whatever the pig is being fed, that's what we eat.
Right.
So I just avoid pork. I do love bacon though, but I haven't had bacon in years. I love that thick cut bacon, that maple flavor. I used to eat it. I used to cook it and have it in the refrigerator in a little Tupperware, and that used to be my snack.
I mean, I think, it's multifaceted. I mean, for religious reasons, you can stay away from pork. Of course, Malcolm X talked about that. But, also for health reasons, we just know, just like pork is just not the first health choice. It's loaded with fat, it's loaded with salt. So if you want to think about all the different type of proteins, we were talking about chicken, fish, turkey, all those different things, beef, pork would just be at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Just in moderation whenever you have a craving. If it's something you love, I don't want to be like, okay, just, eliminate it, unless it's tied to some religious. But, that's just my take on it. You still there?
Yeah, and doctor and nurse, I wanted to say the diet pills also can raise your blood pressure. That's what I've heard, and I wanted to say, a moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Right. Anything that has pseudoephedrine or epinephrine, epinephrine, all of those are stimulants, do cause elevation in blood pressure. So you have to be an avid label reader, and then if you not too sure what it is, not saying Google everything, right. But if you're reading the label, I think Google is okay. You need to find out what it is before you put it in your body. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And thank you. I hope you accept most insurances. I will be coming into your office.
Okay, definitely. Just go to our website, and at the bottom of the website, there's going to be my picture. It has all the insurances that we take, and we would love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor, and thank you, Nurse Charm. You have a great day.
You as well. Thank you so much for calling, Hill. We appreciate your call.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's great to hear you.
Thanks. Okay, looks like we have another caller on the line. Ruth, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Hi, Ruth. Thanks for calling Nurse Charms Live. I have Dr. Grace in studio with me. How are you? What's on your mind?
I just called because about the question about the pork. Now, from the Bible, the Old Testament, like you say, about the hoof, it says don't eat it. You can like a many things, but the question is it good for you? It says don't eat it. I'm just straight and direct like that so the people can understand. this is something that you are not supposed to eat. Number 2, there is a worm they call the trichinosis worm. And I just say, people, do your research on this worm and the pork. So you gave the answer, but I felt that the answer should have been maybe more direct. This is something that should not be ate, whether you like it or not, bacon or whatever it is. And this is, because I used to eat it. I came up eating it.
Right.
I used to eat it. And I had different ailments as a young person. And whether the people believe it or not, when I stopped eating it and got it out of my system 100%, I didn't have to go to the doctor. The problems went away. So you gave the answer, and this is your program, but I needed a little bit more heavy and direct to the people.
All right, we'll keep that in mind. I really appreciate you, Ruth. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, pork does have negative health effects. So, I mean, true, I could have just been like, nah, don't eat it. You know, some people may need to hear, like you said, direct, like, okay, you're a nurse. I'm listening to your show. You have a doctor. You know, if it's not good, don't tell me to eat it if I feel like eating it. So, I mean, I appreciate you, you know, bringing this up from that perspective. But I guess I'm a little bit, you know, soft when it comes to that because, like, I want people to be able to make their own decisions. You know, I just want to kind of put it out there and, you know, you make your decision. But I mean, overall, like I was just saying, you know, pork would have to be like the lowest on the totem pole, and I would just have to like have a strong craving for it, and like, okay, I'm once every 6 months, you know, okay, I get a piece of bacon, and that's really it, you know. But I like turkey bacon, you know. I eat turkey bacon, I eat turkey sausage, I eat chicken sausage, so you know, I tend to do that instead of pork.
I understand. And on the top of Malcolm X, when he died, his name was El Hajj Malik Shabazz.
Yes.
When the person's name changed, the outside is the same, but the person become a different person on the inside. So I'm going to go with him, but I am going to go on top of him because God said, don't eat.
All right, Ruth. Amen. And the church said, amen.
Thank you for calling, Ruth. You have a blessed Sunday. Yeah.
Great call.
That's so cute. I love the elders. I don't know how old Ruth is, but yeah, I really appreciate that call. So how long has it been since you stopped having pork?
Oh, I can't even remember the last time. Maybe six. Well, I just started back eating meat, so it's been 5 years. So maybe like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
5 years.
So you've been doing good.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, I like I said, I'll just eat it whenever I really have a craving for it, which I really don't. But let's just get to our next break that we have to take. This is 9:10 a.m. Superstation, Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special, 100 spots for $600. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Mike Z for more information at 248-357-4566, 248-357-4566, or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. 910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network. 910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
And we are back. This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I am in studio with Dr. Grace, and we're just going to get back into our discussion. If you want to call and join our conversation, call 313-778-7600. Again, 313-778-7600. Our lines have actually been blowing up today, so thank you each and every caller who's been calling the show this morning. I really appreciate your support. We have another caller on the line. Jane, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning, Jane. Yes. Thank you for calling Nurse Charms Live. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm enjoying your program this morning.
That's good to hear. And I have Dr. Grace here. Do you have any questions for myself or the doctor?
Yes, I have a question. I have a comment. I want to mention that pork that and the worm that's in that meat that the previous caller talked about. And I always wondered, as a young woman, I'm a senior now, but as a young woman, I wonder why my mother, different ones, so you got to cook that meat well done. You can't eat it rare like you do a steak or something else. And so then I learned later that because of this worm, you want to make sure that you're killing all of the worms, the eggs, or whatever in there. Well, my take on that is, I don't want no well-done cooked worm.
Right. Oh, my gosh. That's a good perspective.
Listen, this makes sense. Why would you want to eat anything that you know has worms in it?
Right.
And that you know will get in your body and will live and cause havoc on the health of your body. So my thinking is, if you're a healthcare professional, you know this, and that it does hurt the human body, then you can't be soft about it. You got to give it to our people. I mean, dead on, straight forward. Here, this is what it is. This is what it do. There's no doubt about it. This is not a fictional story. It's the truth. and it's not good for you to eat. Not once a year, not once a month, ever. Keep it out of your body. I stopped eating pork in the 70s. I think my son was 2 years old or something. He's 52 now. And I stopped eating it then. He grew up not eating it. And we don't eat any pork byproduct. Listen, there's so much in the world that we have to be careful of to try to stay healthy. And some of it we can't get around it. But pork is one thing we can do without.
You're
we
right.
can do without pork. You don't have to eat that. Some things we can't do without. We have to have it. And the world the man has messed up the food so badly. And some things we can't get around. But we can stop eating pork.
Yeah.
And you know that worm is in it? Let me tell you something real quick. Years ago, my sister-in-law was barbecuing, and she had a pork steak sitting on the side, getting ready to put it on the grill. And she made a mistake and waste some Coca-Cola on it. And you could see the little worms coming to the surface of that meat.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Just like little magnets was coming up from the meat when she wastes that top on it. I'm telling you, don't even eat it once a month.
So you're talking about no bacon, no ribs, no ham, no
chitlins.
Oh, we definitely know no chitlins.
You'll be surprised how many people still eating them.
Ooh, these callers got me outnumbered 2-1. Ruth and the other.
Tell you, why would you want? And then chitlins, that's slave food.
I know that sure is.
That is slave food.
Absolutely.
We ate that. Our ancestors ate that because we had to stay alive. We had nothing else. That's what they threw away.
That's right.
We don't have to eat that now. Why would you want to eat something you know that SHIT runs through it? Yeah. Why would you want to eat something that you know bacteria and all the waste from the nastiest animal on earth runs through that, and then you want to put that in your precious temple that God gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to. God has given us so many other things that we can eat. So many plants and so many other foods we can, berries and wheat and stuff we can eat. We don't have to eat like we still in slavery. Yeah, some of us are in the mind, but I mean, we're not in bondage where we can't get other food.
Yes,
It don't make sense. Black folk got to wake up. I ain't talking about nobody but my people. We have got to wake up. If we want to live a healthy life.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
We got to eat right.
Your point is well taken, and I appreciate, because that's what we were talking about. We were talking about eat to live or eat to die. And if you're one of those people who just eating pork every day, because there are some people who eat pork every day, just think of all of the harm that they're progressively doing to their body. So like you said, wake up. You know what I'm saying? We need to eat for nutrition. We need to eat for calories. Like, we got to lay off some of these bad foods. And so, Ruth, yes. I really appreciate you for mentioning all these things this morning. So,
yeah, so don't eat them burnt up worms. Leave them alone.
All right.
All right, now what's the doctor's name again and number I can contact?
Yes, for sure. Get your information.
Sure. My name is Dr. Grace Patterson, and our office number is 248 356 1111.
1111?
Yes, ma'am.
248-356-1111. Dr. Grace Patterson. Where are you located, doctor?
I'm in Southfield. Our address is 21411 Civic Center Drive.
What drive?
Civic Center Drive. Civic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. 3 words. By the way, it's a street in Southfield also has been named Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
okay. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right then, and I'll look you up on the web to see if you accept my insurance.
Right. And that's www.drgracecares.com.
www.drgracecares.com.
Cares, CARES.com.
Oh, Dr. Grace Care. Okay, cares.com.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Thank you so much for calling in. I enjoyed your call.
Thank you, Ruth.
Okay,
you have a
thank
great
you.
Sunday. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Call us next Sunday. All right.
I sure will. Enjoy.
All right.
Be
Thank
blessed.
you. Thank you. And so we have more callers on the line. Let's see. Let's get to Plank. Sorry, I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is it Plank? How do I say your name?
Yes, Piaki.
Oh, Piaki.
You know, let me see this. Let me see this.
How are you? Thanks for calling Nurse Charms Live.
I'm doing fine. Y'all heard it look nice. But the key thing is moderation. People have been eating pork since time memorial. They ate it back during Egyptian time, ancient Egyptian time.
Right.
They eat it in West Africa. Slaves that came here was not, pork was not unfamiliar to them. You got areas in West Africa today that eat everything from snails, they eat bush meat, which is good, camel, monkey, snake, bat, and even in some areas, they eat human flesh.
Oh, no.
Human flesh is protein. Yes, they do. What the body is looking for is protein. And actually, the chicken is nastier, if you want to call it that, than the hog is. The chicken will pick on anything, even somebody, a dead carcass. But the thing is that you have to cook the food until it's done, being that you're a human being. You're not an animal. Your digestive system is different from the predators in the jungles. So your food has to be cooked well. If there's anything, how do you cook your chicken to make sure that the worms that they ate is fried or done?
Right.
People don't think.
You're 100% right. That's why, I said I'm, soft because, just for all the points you said, you know what I'm saying? I want people to make their own decisions, but based on science, we can't say, no, don't eat pork. It's just that, it does have, the worms and stuff like they say, and, it does have a lot of salt and, cholesterol and stuff like that. So in that case, it's bad for you.
Worms in it.
What's that?
You know something else? Catfish are bottom feeders.
That's true.
So if a body falls in the water, and after a period of time, it becomes waterlogged, and it floats to the bottom. Or the catfish be eating them up, a dead body. Then people like their catfish nuggets, camel catfish.
You're right. It's something with every food. Then you just come to the point where you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to be vegan. Or I'm just going to be vegetarian. And then when you think about, pesticides and stuff, with, on the fruits and vegetables, it's just, or the chemicals from the environment, it's just always going to be something with everything. At some point, you just have to, make the best decisions. As I say, make the best decisions for yourself.
Right.
Pray.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to provide the information, and you guys choose. Yeah. Nurse Charms made that very clear at the beginning. We're here to give information, and it's up to you to choose. So, pork or not pork, to each his own.
Even think of plants. Plants' roots go into the ground.
That's true.
If you got plants growing over a coffin, a wooden coffin, after it deteriorates, those roots are going to go down to that body and pull out what it needs to make it grow. That's just the way things are.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta take a break. The music's playing. You gonna stay on with us, or you gonna go? It's up to you.
You got more questions? I'll try to answer. I'll stay on.
Okay, hang out with us. We'll be right back in a few minutes. This is Nurse Charms Live. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
And we are back. This is Nurse Charms Live. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. I have in studio with me Dr. Grace. We are talking about healthy eating patterns. There's been a debate between our callers. Some want to eat pork. Some say you shouldn't eat pork. So we have P. Anki still. Are you still there with us? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I'm still here.
All right. So,
and, people need to know that they need to do things that strengthen their immune system. The body is a marvelous thing.
Yes.
The body has been exposed, the human genome has been exposed to over 324 trillion viruses, and you have an archive on how those things that try to do you harm, that archive lies in your bone marrow. So when it runs into COVID, well, it just sends help and send some messengers to the archives. What did we do back there and when we ran into this before? It comes back and tell them, then they begin to put it together. That's when you stand in line at the checkout and you look at that Snickers bar, and I need to have more now.
Right.
That's your body saying something in that Snickers bar we need in order to fight off this invasion.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling in this morning and hanging on throughout the break. We got some more callers that are holding on the line. Continue watching the show for us, please, and we'll talk to you hopefully next Sunday. You have a great day, okay? Fidel, are you there? Is Fidel still on hold? Okay, we lost Fidel. Fidel, if you're still listening, please call back. We still got another 7 minutes of our show. So Dr. Grace, we've been talking about, let's see. Okay, we lost Fidel. So Dr. Grace, we've been talking about eating healthy. So now I kind of want to switch gears, and I want to talk about what happens to our bodies when we don't eat healthy. And I kind of want to get in, I do want to get into, before we end the show, because the show's just been going by so fast, I want to get into, heart failure, heart attack, cardiac arrest. I want to talk about those different things, especially the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest, because some people seem to think that those two are the same thing, which they aren't. So
they're not.
Right.
They're not at all.
So let's just kind of put that education out there, especially with the Lamar Hamlin collapse. He had cardiac arrest, and then Lisa Marie Presley, she just died. It was hers a cardiac arrest or was hers a heart attack?
They said heart attack.
Yeah, so she had a heart attack, right? So those are two separate diagnoses. So let's just talk about, first let's just break them down, what they are, and then let's just talk about some bad things that can happen to your body, if we continue to, eat all these, like we were talking about earlier, the bad fats, the bad carbohydrates, and all those different things.
Okay, so what I normally do to explain it to my patients, your body, just think of your body as a house, and that your vessels are all a plumbing system, and your heart is what's pumping the water throughout the whole entire house. What happens to the pump if it malfunctions? Like, say, for instance, the pump is electrical and the electrical system stops. The pump stops, and then everything, you don't get the flow through the house like you should. So when it's electrical, it's considered a cardiac arrest. There's an electrical problem. Heart can't pump, can't get the water and fluid throughout the whole house or throughout the whole body. Versus a heart attack, that pump also needs to be taken care of itself as well. And so a heart attack is what happens is your own heart or the pump has its own internal system that needs to be nourished or replenished. And so the vessels in the heart doesn't get the blood back to the heart, and then the tissue of the heart dies. And so that's what we call a heart attack, because the heart is being attacked because it's not getting the blood flow, the oxygenation that it needs. And so the tissues of the heart tends to die, which is known as an infarct. And so that's the difference between the two. And so let's talk about cholesterol, eating greasy foods, pour it down the drain. What happens to the drain? The drain get clogged up. So what does the pump do? The pump has to pump harder to get the fluid through the blockage. And so what happens is, if it's a huge blockage, is less water or blood getting to the tissues, oxygenation, and the tissue behind that dies, be it a kidney problem, be it a stroke in the brain, or whatever the case may be. And so that's what happens. What happens when you don't have what I call a Drano? You put chemicals in there to clean out the pipes and all that other kind of stuff. Those are your nutrients and your minerals. And so if that's not getting where it needs to be, then you have a problem. Also, congestive heart failure is what happens is there's too much fluid. The pump is not pumping like it should, so then you get a backup. So that's what with congestive heart failure, you see people that get shortness of breath with walking or exertion, or they get leg or what we call edema, pitting edema. You put your finger in the leg and there's a hole there that they just get swelling because the fluid gets backed up. So those are the different basic cardiac malfunctions that can happen to the body, and what you eat will definitely contribute to either a healthy heart or an unhealthy heart.
Right. So let's just talk about, high blood pressure, because out of all the races, we know that plagues, Black people even more. So, what are some things that we should be doing to, just keep our heart healthy and keep our body healthy, so, we don't develop high blood pressure, which in turn will lead to, one of these things, cardiac.
Right. So high blood pressure is what we call vasoconstriction. It causes those blood vessels or those pumps or those pipes in the body to narrow down. And so it's due to stress. It can be due to high sodium intake, not having enough potassium or magnesium on board, which causes vasodilation and muscle relaxation around those vessels. So we definitely need to keep our body moving, exercising, circulation to keep the blood flowing, because good blood flow gives you oxygenation. Oxygenation gives you alkalinization, and the alkaline body is less prone to having a disease. So eating right, exercising, getting your sleep, minimizing stress are all key components of having overall health, but basically definitely targeting good cardiac health.
Yeah, for sure. Dr. Grace, give everyone your information because we're going to be nearing the end of this show.
Wow, that went by so fast.
I know it did. It was fun, though. We always have a great time when we do shows together. So give them your information because, we've had all these callers and they've just been, what's the doctor? So give it to them.
Okay, my name is Dr. Grace Patterson. I'm managing owner of Bethesda Holistic Center and Everything New Medical Care Services in Southfield. Our address is 21411 Civic Center Drive, Suite 102. Our telephone number, which has texting capabilities and HIPAA compliant, is 248-356-1111. That's 248-356-1111. And our website is www.drgracecares.com. That's www.drgracecares.com.
And y'all can reach me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Nurse Charms, NURSE, Nurse CHARMS, Nurse Charms. If you want a massage, you can hit me up at Gold Standard Massage Clinic. The number is 248-567-2755. Listen, it was so great having you on this show today, Dr. Grace. Of course, I'm going to be asking you to come back in the future. For all of my listeners, I will be back on these airwaves next Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So make sure you tune in next Sunday and make sure you continue listening to 910 a.m. Superstation, the #1 station in Detroit. I'm Nurse Charms. I'm out. Have a great Sunday.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the